Friday. We made it to the end of the week already. How about that? Seems like we just got here.
We did.
But it's Friday, and it is the 12th already? Can you believe that? Of February. Valentine's Day is this Sunday. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
You know, I should have a Valentine's Day question, but I don't. Anyway, do the right thing.
Do the...
Whatever that is.
Shop local for
Shop
your sweetheart.
local. Yeah, that's right. Buy local.
That's
All
right.
We're going to have a short session here and at the end of the program because we got a lot to get in today. Okay?
Wonderful.
A lot to get in. So I'm going to start with a trivia question very quickly. The category is Europe. Europe. You're up next. No, it's Europe. That's the question. And if you're a geography buff, you may know this one. If you're not a geography buff, But anyway, here we go. Europe is and this is confusing because I didn't realize this was in Europe. But anyway, at 2,294 miles, which is a long way, that's almost the distance across our country. What is the longest river in Europe? Now, we know the longest river in the U.S. in North America is the Mississippi, and of course in South America it's the Amazon, and elsewhere it's others like the Yangtze and all those. But now, what is the longest river in Europe? And I wouldn't have gotten this one. But it's 2,000, almost 2,300 miles long. All right?
Okay.
Very good.
All right, all right.
Do you have anything we need to add before we go to our...
You know, there's a lot of great things going on in Wayne County, and we try our best to provide to you resources and places for you to go to see what's going on in and around Wayne County. There are maps and calendars through the Chamber's website and all of our partners throughout the community, and we urge you to check it out. And if there's something you want to hear more of, we encourage you to reach out to us, and we will bring it to you.
That's exactly right. And it's very easy to do. You just simply send us an email at wayne.alley@waynegov.com or
KateD@WayneCountyChamber.com.
it's that simple.
Boom. How about we get to some programming?
Let's do it. We'll be back. Our guest today is Chris Larson, who has been at the Wayne County Museum since the late 1800s.
That's a true fact.
Chris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
It's good to see
How
you,
you
man.
doing? It's always a blast.
It is a blast. It's a lot of fun, and we love the museum.
We're a blast from the past.
Hey, it's at 116 North William Street in Goldsboro, and you always have something going on at the museum.
Always, Wayne.
And if people have not been to our very own Wayne County Museum, you really need to check this out because there's a little bit of everything in there.
Exactly.
From almost all decades.
Exactly. It's our local treasure.
It is our local treasure.
Yeah, and we should treasure it.
I like that. Write that down.
I will.
Okay. Chris, let's walk through this very quickly. As people walk into the museum through the front doors, they will see all sorts of things, including the fountain lady from Herman Park.
Yes.
The original.
The original. That's the lady in the park.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful piece. And occasionally, I will say, Wayne, that some visitors come in and they'll say, my parents, my grandparents, maybe my great-grandparents would go to the Herman Park and go see the lady in the park. And the water would come out of a little fountain, little bowl there. And it was really cool.
It was really cool. The lady, unfortunately, had garnered a little age and was deteriorating to some degree, so she was replaced, and the original is now sitting in the museum.
It's in the museum there when you come in.
All right. And as you're standing there looking at the lady from the park, you look to your left and you see a gift center.
Yes, we have a
Tell
little...
me about that.
Well, Wayne, we have a museum gift shop where we have a lot of different items for sale, and people can find different things they would like.
There's some books.
There's books.
I have bought a couple of caps there myself.
Yes, very good, and we appreciate that.
You're quite welcome. Quite welcome. But there's a lot of other things in there as well.
Yes.
All sorts of things.
All kinds of things we have. Yeah,
unique gifts.
Unique gifts for any occasion.
All right. Now, as we venture into the next room,
yes,
the Wall of Fame is there. One of my favorite places.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, Wayne, because we have in the last 2 months been going through a lot of inventory, cleaning up, organizing. So that room is going to be a rotating room for rotating exhibits.
Oh.
And since we are in the Heads of Black History Month, we have some exhibits on that. We're going to be focusing on the local African-American neighborhoods like Little Washington, Parkstown, and several others. We are going to be talking about the Underground Railroad in North Carolina, how it affected the country itself. And we're also going to have a history of the railroad in North Carolina, and that'll be in that room. So we'll be working on that. We'll be working on some possible upcoming guest speakers. We'll be working on that. I'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
We also have, in the next room is the war room, which that'll still be there.
Yes, you're not going to change that, are you?
No, no,
Okay.
that's gonna be there.
Man, you know what? That room, you have things in there from the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, that's
Man
cool.
Anthony Wayne
Man
is
Anthony-
well represented.
He's well represented in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that up to World War II. We just got a uniform from our from Korea.
Oh,
Which
really?
is really funny. We just put that out a couple years
From the early 50s.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Wow.
So hope on that. And then upstairs, Wayne, we're going to have some permanent displays on agriculture, the USO. We're going to have a technology exhibit. We're also going to have a children's section. And so that'll be upstairs, and that'll be on permanent display. The museum will still be available for rentals.
Mm-hmm.
It's $50 an hour plus a $250 damage deposit, and our capacity is 75.
75 people. That's a
Yeah.
good crowd.
It is, yeah.
And
So-
for $50 an hour, that's
That's
a
not
good
bad.
price.
That's a good price,
That's a good
yeah.
price. And it's a
Yeah.
great place and great location.
Exactly. For any kind of function you are looking for, we'll
Mm-hmm.
be available for that.
Now, and they can call your office to get more details about how to do
Yes, we have. They can call us at area code 919-734-5023.
that. 919-734-5023.
And keeping up with the times, we do have a Facebook page, so we post stuff there.
Okay.
And then we have a Flickr page, I probably mentioned that before, that people can go on there and identify different photographs that we haven't labeled.
Okay.
And if people contact us, Wayne, we'll use that information and have it cataloged,
Okay.
and have it
All
set.
right. First question is
Yeah.
your Facebook page. How's that listed?
Wayne County Museum.
Wayne County Museum.
Yes.
Okay. Your website is
WayneMuseum.org.
WayneMuseum.org. I'm memorizing all this.
Very
See,
good.
I'm trying. WayneMuseum.org
Yes.
and Wayne County Museum on Facebook.
Yes.
And then the Flickr page,
Yeah, just Flickr of Wayne County Museum.
Wayne County Museum. Okay.
And we're hoping to be open, Wayne, on February 20th, which will be our open day.
Mhm.
Which I'm glad I brought that up. On that day, we will have a Black History Quiz Bowl.
Oh, okay.
And if it's for 6th to 8th graders, if they're interested in participating, and there's going to be various topics. But if anybody has any questions, Wayne, they can call Keith Copeland at area code 919-221-3663, or email him at copelandkeith@bellsouth.net if anybody has any questions about
Okay.
it, Wayne.
That is for the Black History Month Quiz Bowl.
And that'll be on Saturday, February 20th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. People can get information at the Wayne County Public Library and at the schools, churches, activity groups, and the media center.
This is not the first year for the Quiz Bowl.
No.
This is carrying on a tradition.
A tradition, yeah. Last year they had it at the library, I was told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Chris, I think, and you and I were talking before we did this interview, quiz bowls are fascinating.
They are. Yeah.
It's great competition.
It is.
And it's great for the young students who actually get in there and go at each other, and it can be a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and it's
Yeah.
a great team effort, and then you get to meet other students from different schools.
Yeah.
So, in fact, we were like saying, I just watched Brain Game on Saturday at 11.
That's
with-
on Channel 5, but
on
we're not
Channel-
going to mention that.
Yeah, that's another story.
That's another story. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Roberts does a good job.
He does do a good
When
job.
I went on, it was Greg Fischel did a
Yeah.
good job, and
you were on that.
yeah,
that
we went
show.
on there,
Yeah.
and actually, I was going to say Wayne Country Day is in it this year, so
Are they?
I'll give a good luck Wayne Country Day.
There you go. All right.
But I think it's a great thing. Yeah.
Okay, but now we're here to talk about the Black History Month Quiz Bowl, again, February 20th.
February 20th, and that's from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it'll be, again, 6th to 8th graders.
At the museum.
At the museum, we'll be hosting it.
That's a Saturday.
It'll be a Saturday.
And you're open on Saturdays, aren't
We're
you?
open usually on Saturdays,
Yeah.
yes.
But you're open, what, Tuesday through Saturday?
Tuesday through Saturday
What are the
from
hours?
11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay. 11 to 4 every day.
Yes.
Oh, I like that, because it used to be all jumbled up different times.
Exactly. They were even open. I remember one time, I was way before my time, they were open one time Sundays from 1 to 5.
Yeah, well, now it's consistent. Same time every day, 11 to 4.
Yes.
The Wayne County Museum, near the post office downtown, at
And a walk-
116 North. And what?
And a walk away from the courthouse.
It's only a walk away from the courthouse.
From WGTV
From WGTV
Studios.
Studios, Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you take feedback? You get fan mail anymore, Wayne?
I get fans.
Yeah, I get fans.
It's hot in here. Look, Chris, give us again that phone number one more time.
Area code 919-734-5023.
Our friend Chris Larson with Wayne County Museum. And Chris, you're doing a great job. I appreciate you coming in.
You're
Always
welcome.
fun to talk
Always
with you.
enjoyable.
I've known this man a long time here. He's a
Yeah.
good guy. How's your mom doing?
They're doing good.
Tell
Dad.
Mom and Dad I said hi.
I will.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Hey, you're welcome, Wayne.
We're very pleased to have in the studio with us today some young ladies from our Department of Social Services for Wayne County. First of all, Director Debbie Jones is with us. Debbie, thank you for being here.
Sure.
And Charlene Morris. And Charlene, I'm not sure what you do. What do you do?
I'm the administrator that's responsible for our technology, special projects, and our clerical unit there in the main building.
So you're pretty much the IT guru.
I'm not IT like
I understand,
folks
but
that fix the computers.
Oh, I understand that, right.
But I'm responsible for the new programs that we've just implemented.
Okay. And we just implemented something really big here in Wayne County. Debbie, tell us about that and why we felt we had to change. What did we have?
Well, we had an old system of paper and files and filing cabinets
Okay.
that had been in use for many, many years. Storage had become a problem. We had storage pretty much everywhere. We were paying for scanning
Right.
and placing records up in the cloud. That was costing us a great deal of money. And so when we looked at ways to become more efficient, it became obvious that we needed to go paperless.
That system is so overwhelming and outdated, really. And we just couldn't change over that quickly.
Oh, no, no.
And so what do we have now? We've made a change, is that right?
We have.
So what have we done? We have new software.
We have new software. It's Compass by Northwoods, who has made a business of providing software to departments of social services across America.
Wow.
And it provides everything that we need to determine eligibility, store records, contain proof of eligibility, such as birth certificates and so on, and then the ongoing cases that can go on for years.
So Charlene, how long did this process take? I mean, it's been on. This is a big event here. I mean, a big change.
Oh, yes.
How long did this take? When did we start working on this?
The contract was actually signed last spring.
Really?
And then we started bits and pieces
Yeah.
because we actually got 3 different programs.
Mm-hmm.
The first being the appointment piece, and with it, the receptionist can go in and log someone in. That alerts the worker that someone's here. The worker.
You mean actually the presence in the building?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Let's see, I'm
sir.
catching up with you here.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how I'm talking about here, but that's
And-
interesting.
Yeah. Well, it makes it much more efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
And the workers can go in and schedule their appointment,
Mm-hmm.
so the receptionist can see they've already got an appointment scheduled. And the system itself will not allow you to schedule on top of another appointment. So
Overbooking.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it won't allow that.
And as busy as your office is, I can see how that could be a problem.
Very much so.
Because you are so busy in social services. And I see how the efficiency is so much better because your office is so busy. You deal with hundreds of people a day
Yes.
or an hour.
Well, and our caseload has doubled since 2008.
Has it really?
We are seeing twice the amount of people that we used to see.
As a side question here, I think I know why, but is there a reason or two that, is it the economy?
The economy.
It's the economy.
The economy.
It just stinks.
Yes.
Yeah. So more people are coming in. They need our services more, and you guys are just running around filing things in old file cabinets and sending it up to the cloud, and things get lost. So we had to make a change. And
Exactly.
I'm surprised it only took a year. Are we up and running with this?
We are. We are up and running, and actually we're talking more like 2 years from the beginning of
okay.
investigating
Okay.
what programs were out there,
Yeah.
what would best meet our needs, and then of course there was the convincing the commissioners and the
Oh, yeah.
Department of Social Services Board that this was a worthwhile investment. But we were able to prove that this program will pay for itself within 5 years.
Really?
Yes.
Within 5, and what was the total dollar amount on this?
Not quite 2 million.
$2 million.
Yes.
So within 5 years, we're going to get that money back, and after that, it's gravy.
Absolutely.
Pretty much, yeah.
Absolutely. And the savings will be ongoing because we're saving in postage costs, we're saving in storage costs,
Mm-hmm.
we're saving on paper, printing, ink, and all those things add up when you're talking about the largest department in the county.
Indeed, it is the largest department, and again, we're talking about becoming more efficient.
Exactly.
Well, that's fantastic. So, what's your background? Is this your background? Or were you thrown into this?
Some of both.
A little bit of both.
I have over 30 years experience with social services.
My goodness.
In one capacity or another.
Did you start when you were 4? Just
5.
5?
Thank
Okay, I
you.
knew it.
But I love the technology piece,
Yeah.
and this has really been the biggest thing that's happened to social services in my experience.
Well, this is
And
fantastic.
just thrilled that Wayne County has this opportunity, or the commissioners have allowed us to have this opportunity.
Well, obviously,
to work with this.
they saw the value, obviously. And the $2 million investment is indeed an investment that will return many times over in the long run. Charlene, thank you for being with us. I appreciate you coming in
Thank
and
you.
explaining this to us. And Debbie, always good to see you.
Always.
All right, we'll have to do this again.
Will do.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that now. Debbie Jones is Director of the Department of Social Services for Wayne County, and Charlene Morris is working with keeping it all efficient. Right? Thank
Yes,
you, ladies.
sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. This is a special segment here on Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniels. Just a week ago at the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce annual banquet, we had quite a surprise for the nearly 300 in attendance. I shared that back in 2015, the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce and our community at large lost a great friend in Mr. Ollie Toomey. Mr. Ollie served as president of the chamber for over 21 years.
Wow.
And before he passed away, he passed along a cassette tape to Dr. Ed Wilson, a former past president of the chamber, and asked that he bring it to the chamber. And when Dr. Ed Wilson placed it in my hands, and we plugged it in, and I heard the voice and the sound, I tell you I was brought to tears, and we would like to share that with you today. This, my friends, is a sound clip from April of 1974.
Over my shoulder, a backward glance. Yesterday, following this visit, I flew to Goldsboro, North Carolina. That city's Chamber of Commerce was having a bicentennial doings last night at which I was invited to speak, but I arrived in that garden city just in time to catch the dogwood and the azaleas in their fullest bloom. You know how chambers of commerce are. They want to be sure the visitor sees the splendid new post office and the new hospital and the new local industry, but I was so enchanted that I saw whatever I saw through a gossamer lace of pink and white. Dogwood and azaleas all at once, exploding all over town. The city is thriving, even the downtown. Despite shopping centers, Goldsboro's wide center street is neat and busy. Goldsboro, that side of the mountains, this side of the sea, is on what North Carolina calls its coastal plain, but boy, there was nothing plain about it when its bloomers were blooming. Goldsboro, the city was named for a railroad engineer because they liked him, and its Air Force base was named for a naval officer because they loved him. This traveling microphone travels to Longview, Texas, tomorrow, to Detroit, Michigan, on Saturday, and from each of these touch-and-go landings, there is time to tuck in the pocket over your heart only a few snapshots, and the one from Goldsboro, which I'm saving for rainy day reflections, is of a front lawn in April, where the rainbow ends. Now our For What It's Worth department hears from Cy Simon, Springfield, Missouri. about the third grade schoolgirl who ran to the teacher to report, quote, 2 boys are fighting in the schoolyard, and the one on the bottom wants to talk to you. Paul Harvey. Good day.
That, my friends, was the voice of the famous Paul Harvey, born Oran some years ago. He became the voice of America, literally the voice of America. He was the greatest storyteller. Paul Harvey had radio programs that ran consistently from the late 50s all the way till just about the day he died. He was an amazing person who could grab your attention and hold it for several minutes. He ran a daily radio program on ABC for many years, and then another network, and I forget which that was, but he was an amazing person. We were extremely fortunate back in the mid-1970s when Paul Harvey actually came to Goldsboro, and that is what you just heard. Paul Harvey, and the photograph, let me mention the photograph,
Yes.
is Paul Harvey in the mid-70s when he arrived at the Goldsboro airport wearing the hat. And the other gentleman in the photograph is my dear friend, the late Vassie Balkin. And we sure miss that man too. But Vassie was, of course, the backbone of WGBR for so many years. And the picture might appear to be just a little bit leaning over. I think Bob Hill took that, leaning against the golf club. But that's another story. But we'll talk about that one day too. But the big story right now is that you just heard of Paul Harvey and that wonderful, deep storytelling voice that so inspired people, and people loved Paul Harvey for so many years. We sure miss him as well.
That's right. And wouldn't he be so pleased to see Goldsboro and Wayne County 30 years later?
Wouldn't he, though?
He
We'd love to
would.
see him, too. Our guest today is Crime Stoppers Coordinator Sergeant Paige Leonard of Crime Stoppers here in Wayne County. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I am really glad you're here because we want to talk about a crime that this upset a lot of people.
Yeah.
They got a restaurant that's very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, it is a shame, and in this society, we always like to have our food delivered to us
Yes.
if we can have that happen.
Right.
And unfortunately, Papa John's Pizza, they had an employee working, and this employee was delivering pizza to 914 North Madison Avenue here in the city. And as they were making that delivery, they had 3 black males approach them and rob them. And obviously this startled the employee, and these subjects end up going through this employee's car. They stole the employee's cell phone, their money, their GPS unit, some sunglasses, and of course they stole the food.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fled on foot. And basically what we have is 3 black males in their 20s. One was wearing a black hoodie. And they fled on foot, and they actually went east, which is basically towards Berkeley Boulevard,
Right.
to give people a general area. But this does ignite anger in people, just like any other robbery. But
Sure.
You've got a 20-some-year-old employee out there that's just trying to work and make a living. And a lot of people like the convenience of having pizza delivered to the house. And it does make the businesses leery because they're sending their employees out there as part of their service, and they're getting robbed.
That's
and
right.
so, we're just hoping somewhere out there somebody is talked and somebody will kind of give these suspects up and help us make an arrest.
It's kind of enough to really make you angry when
Right.
these young people are out trying to earn a living, like you say.
Right.
And, many of them have children to feed. They have bills to pay like anybody else, and this can be considered a job that just not anybody would take.
Right.
But it's people that feel like they have to take it, and they do it, and many of them do enjoy doing this, meeting new people, delivering food, making people happy.
Right.
But then when something like this happens, it really puts a stain on our community, and so we've got to stop this mess. And so if you know anything about this crime, you need to talk to this lady right here, Sergeant Paige Leonard of Crime Stoppers. You see the numbers at the bottom of the screen.
That's right. One thing we actually did not discuss, it happened on January 30th.
The 30th of January.
January 30th, and it happened at about 8:30 in the evening.
That's good to know.
And exactly, again, it was at 914 North Madison Avenue. And obviously that's still a busy time in the evening around Goldsboro.
Yes, it is.
So,
Well, and that's on a Saturday night.
yeah.
That's a Saturday night. So think back. If you see anybody, remember somebody running,
Right.
or three individuals at that time of night, regardless of whether they're innocent or not, they need to be cleared if they're innocent.
Right. It could be your brother.
Could be.
Could be your friends that came home with a GPS, some
Right.
sunglasses that didn't belong with them.
That's right.
You know, a pizza box. Obviously, they didn't have the money for the pizza. Or maybe they came home with a couple extra $100 that you know wasn't theirs.
And the number is 919-222-4230. That's the text number, 919-222-4230, or 919-735-2255.
And let's remind them, they can also go on the Goldsboro Police Department Facebook site,
That's right.
and they can submit a tip through the anonymous tip line. And very simple process, and that's another way they can submit a tip. They don't have to talk to me if that makes them nervous. They don't have to text a tip line. You know, some people that makes a little nervous. It's just a third way to submit a tip. All they have to do is click on that application and they can submit a tip.
If there is a reward offered, would they still be eligible for the reward if they
Absolutely.
go online and submit a tip that way?
Yeah, if they submit it online, it's going to assign them a number, and they will receive that number as they're submitting that tip.
Okay.
And the process is encrypted, so it's not traceable, so they don't have to worry about that. They can still check back in with me through that tip line. They'll have their tip number assigned to them, and it'll be given to them as they're making that tip. So they can track it and they can call me back in and check in.
And they're the only ones that can do that.
That's right.
You don't have any idea who these people are who are calling you.
No.
Don't want to know.
Right,
Makes it
absolutely.
a lot easier, a lot cleaner to get the job done. Sergeant Paige Leonard of Crime Stoppers, 919-222-4230, 919-735-2255. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have had a lot of stuff going on here today, I'm telling you. Anyway, that's the program for today. We're going to be back in here Monday. I will encourage you, please. And I'm not kidding around about this. I kid around a lot, you know that. But I'm not kidding around about seatbelts. I've seen the devastation that can happen to a family, the tragedy to a family, where someone did not wear their seatbelt and they were in a tragic accident. So please wear your seatbelt. Think about not only yourself, but think about your family. Wear your seatbelt. Protect yourself. Seatbelt saves lives. Until Monday, until then, have a great weekend. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kate Daniels.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.